What's up guys, Dopesetter930 here, and I'm making this video for actually a lot of you guys because I've gotten this question over and over for the past 3.5 years really, and I've answered some of you guys through typing back, messaging, emails, whatever, but I decided, because I've gotten quite a few lately. If you didn't know, on my website dopesetter.com there's a contact form and you can contact me, and typically I'll try to email you back if I can, depending on your question, how complex it is, and sometimes you guys will give me ideas for videos or send me news and stuff like that. But I've gotten quite a lot of you guys through YouTube messaging, YouTube comments, and now my email asking me questions like, I want to get into Xbox and PS3 modding and repairing. What do I need to do? Can you give me any, or what do I need? Can you give me any tips, tricks, things like that? Now, I primarily have dealt with Xboxes. There's much, in my opinion, less things you can do with the PS3 compared to the Xbox in terms of modding, and there's a lot more limitations on the PS3 than the Xbox when it comes to modding. So I'm going to primarily focus in these videos on the Xbox side of things, and then when I'm done with them, if you guys decide you want me to put together some things on the PS3 side of things and do my homework and get back to you on that, then I can do that as well. So what I am going to go ahead and do in this video, I'm going to do a separate one for what you need to get into repairing Xboxes, but this one's going to be what do you need to get into Xbox 360 modding and so let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this video since it has been really highly requested by you guys. Alright guys, so to get started, we're going to first decide whether you're doing a cosmetic mod, which is going to be a case mod like you can see in this picture with LEDs and paint and custom things like that, or whether you're trying to do a mod that's going to affect the software, either the disk drive software or the actual console software, so that you can run Homebrew. Now, if you don't really know which one you're trying to do, then I guess maybe if you follow along in this video, when I talk about the different things, you might understand. But to get started, let's kind of go through all of the things you're going to need. I definitely recommend you picking up a soldering iron if you're getting into any type of modding. It's just good to have a soldering iron, and I definitely recommend you get one. You're also going to be needing some basic soldering supplies like Flux, a Flux braid, and a solder braid and solder and things like that. Okay, so your options are either a cheap soldering iron you can get from like Radio Shack or Home Depot, or if you got a little bit of extra money to spend, you can pick up like an AU soldering iron, which is kind of like what's pretty much what I use, which will give you variable temperatures, and I do recommend that if you can afford paying an extra $30–40 for one. Next, you're going to need Flux. You can pick up basic Flux at like a Radio Shack if you're in the USA. This is just allows you to get better contact when you're soldering and deoxygenates the contact points. You're also going to need to pick up some solder. Doesn't really matter what size, just some rosin core solder, again from Radio Shack you can pick up as well. I do recommend picking up a desoldering braid. Again, Radio Shack carries all these items just in case you need to remove some solder that's built onto a spot that wasn't supposed to be there. Always a good idea to have electric tape when you're dealing with wires. You don't want to short anything out. You could risk potentially damaging or destroying the board you're working on if you don't cover the wiring well. And then if you can afford this as well, I do recommend picking this up. It is just a tip cleaner for your soldering iron. It has saved me a ton of time, and I love this. Okay, so for starters, we're going to go ahead and get into the things you need. I recommend for doing case modding, regardless of what kind of case modding or what you have planned to do. First and foremost, you need to pick up a Dremel of some sort. I use this one right here, Black & Decker. It was only 30 bucks, which is really cheap, and it kicks ass. It cuts right through any type of plastic casing and thin metal. If you're going to be painting your console, I recommend using Krylon Fusion. It just looks and works really well. It's meant for plastic, so it's perfect for case modding. Now, if you're going to go ahead and solder LEDs to like the Ring of Light, you can pick those up anywhere. eBay has tons of people. There's lots of little modding websites that do sell these, so they're really cheap. If you're going to do that, make sure you have needle nose pliers because they are really small, and it is extremely easy to lose them and difficult. You can't hold them with your fingers, they're that small. Now, if you want to install extra fans or anything like that, the option's really up to you. Any computer case fan will work, any color, any size, LEDs, it's all your choice and personal preference. Now, if you want to customize or mod the disk drive to be able to play backup games, you will need some supplies to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and in this next section here kind of cover some of the basic things about that and what you'll need if you plan on modding disk drives. So When it comes to modding disk drives, you have two options for brands. You have Executor, which makes great products, but I hate their customer service and they are complete snobs. Or you have Maximus Lizard, which I have never used, but a lot of people use them and love their products. So choose what you will. In this video, I'll be showing you only Executor stuff because that again is what I always used, so I can't really do Maximus's things. You're going to need an X360 USB Pro. You can get version 1 and version 2, but version 2 I recommend you getting because otherwise you have to buy an extra thing, so get version 2. You're going to want a Molex power adapter, otherwise you're going to have to open up your computer and plug in the USB Pro inside. Having an external one to power it is much easier. Then you're going to need to pick up some probes. There's two probes. There's the Sputnik probe, which is pictured right here, and then you're going to have the, I believe it's the CK3 or CR3, just probe 3 from Team Executor, and you're pretty much covered on all fat disk drives. For slims, it's a little bit more tricky. Some of them will require you to purchase full-blown replacement boards, which are like 50 bucks. I don't really recommend keeping stock of these. You can just order them if you get a customer that wants that done. And last but not least, we're going to get into actual homebrew modding. This is a lot more complicated and I can't really get into all the details in this video, but as a bare minimum, you will need a few things. First and foremost is a NAND reader. I use the NAND X. It is amazing. It's what I've always used. It gets the job done, so they're not very expensive. I do recommend you picking one of these up. Then there's 3 different types of hacks. I can't get into details again, but if you're doing the regular JTAG old school hack, you only need some wire and these diodes, which you can pick up from Radio Shack. I love this hack. It is very simple and cheap to do. If you're doing an RGH, you can pick up a variety of glitch chips. This one is the Rev C. It's the cheaper of them and it works just fine, so that is the one I typically recommend. And if you're doing the RJ tag, Executor has the RJ tag kit as well. You can pick that up. There is some other chips that they've come out with after that, but they essentially do the same thing. They claim that they have better boot timings and whatnot, and I'm not saying that they don't, but again, the stuff I have listed is and does work. I've used it all, and it essentially is pretty much everything you're gonna need. Now I'm sure I've missed some things, but again, these are the things that came to mind, and I get so many people asking, what do I need to get into Xbox 360 modding? Please, let me know. So hopefully this will help you guys out. I know this was kind of ran through quickly, but I did my best and took some time to really think this through for you guys. So if this did help you at all, please like and favorite and comment. And if there's anything else you feel like should have been added into this video, comment down below so that people interested can take a look. So this was again a video showing you guys what you need to do modding on the Xbox 360, either cosmetic or for backups or for homebrew. So hopefully this will help. And yeah, that's it guys. So Dopeswonder930, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I'm out. Peace.
What's up guys, don't forget to check out dopeswonder.com to find out more about anything I talked about in this video, to stay up to date with the latest modding news, there's any other news I find important, as well as to check out my latest videos. Peace.